up, Comic Nation, and thank you for joining the Team Nerd Herd podcast. Do us a quick favor and hit that like and subscribe button. But let's start off with a little roll call, and I'm going to pass this mic on to Comics and Pops.
What's up, world? This is Comics and Pops, Alonzo, comic book nerd and pop culture enthusiast. Over to you, Big Rob.
What's going, guys? It's Big Rob, Robert, Rob's Nerd Haven on Instagram, and I'm going to pass it on to Nick.
Yo, Cosmic Ninja here, Minor Key 12 on IG, Marvel Nerd, and comic book condition stickler. Yeah, I'm passing that on to JR.
You could have put modifier too.
Yeah.
This is JR, your Star Wars nerd, your Marvel nerd, your own personal JJ Jonathan. I am here to entertain. Ian, what's up?
And my name is Ian. You can catch me at Hoodrat Comics over on Instagram. And I would say I am the newbie of all collectors in this group. But let's start off with picks of the week, and let's move it on. Starting with on to Alonzo for win number one.
All right, so this is my pick of the week. It's coming out next week. It's win number one. So this is a story that is based on if you have magic, you are going to be persecuted. So it has a lot of things going for it. The big thing that I see is one, it's written by Tinian, and he is on fire. So definitely, if you're a big fan, it's a great book. Two, it's Boom Studios, and if you haven't heard already, Boom Studios has a relationship with Netflix, so they're optioning any and everything. So they get first look at it. This would be a great book, at least based on the summary, because I haven't read it yet, that would play pretty well. And then number three, you have Peach. And not only does she have just a regular cover, she's got the Virgin cover, she's got a sketch cover. So there is a lot there that you can pick up. And again, Peach is on fire. So I would definitely, if you see it, I would definitely pick it up. And there's also a couple of other variants as well. The next one is the variant from the Comic Mint. And again, just pick something that you like. It feels like it's going to be a great book. It's my pick of the week. And off to you, JR.
So my pick of the week, well, here's another one there. My pick of the week is Moonshine. This is from the group that gave you 100 Bullets. If you don't know what 100 Bullets is now, go back and find it. It's going to be a TV show, I guarantee you. But this book, you like werewolves, you like Prohibition, think of those together. They send a guy from Chicago down south to Louisiana down to the Bayou. Guys trying to get these people that have this great moonshine, bring it back up. They want nothing to do with them. End up killing them by the first issue, turn them to a werewolf. They're a family of werewolves. That's all I need to say. That's good enough right there. It's a great story, great art, and it's fun. Next is Ian with his couple picks.
And I picked The Resistance. I really liked the first issue that came out before COVID. It had a lot to do with like what's kind of happening in the world with this mysterious virus that's going around. But in this story, the virus actually kills millions of people, and the people that actually survive and that were dearly sick, they actually mutate into superheroes. And at the end of this book, we find one of the main characters becoming actually a pretty cool superhero. I really like the story by J. Michael Straczynski and Mike Deodato. This is going to be, I think, a really great book, and I really like what Upshot is doing. Another book you might want to check out is the Upshot preview that was being handed out at the Comic-Cons, I think, in last year. You can find those pretty decent price, but this book right here is a great book if you're looking for a really good read. And it's issue number 2 of 6, so it's a pretty short run. It'll have a pretty good ending, I hope. And it's written by some really good writers. But check it out if you can. It should be pretty easy to get at your local LCS next week. And my next pick is Dark Knight's Death Metal. I'm not one that has read the first Dark Knight's Death Metal that came out, but I really like the covers for this. And I think this is going to be a pretty good book to read too. It's by Snyder and Capullo. And I really like Capullo's style. I know he's a guitar player too, and he can shred. I seen him shred a couple of times on Instagram, so I can see that shredding mentality in this cover right here. But this comes with some pretty dope covers. So the first cover that I really like is this Batman by Ryan Brown. It looks pretty dope to me. It looks like it's a cross between medieval and everything else and Batman. So you guys might want to check that. Another cover that I really like is this one by Cal New. It's a Batman on his death metal bike. His medieval bike. It's another dope cover that you guys might want to check out. And then we got this next one by Joseph Michael Linzer. And I really enjoy the Batmans all in the background, especially the Batman up front with the Axe of Death. And then we got the next one this one's by Jiyoung Lee, one of my favorite artists. And this one is the color in this one and her lasso just really sold it to me. This is definitely one I think I'm going to get out of the whole lot. And then we have this next one by the man Art Germ. And this is Wonder Woman in her going off in a little rage. And I think a lot of people are going to pick this one up. I think there's a lot of Art Germ fans out there that are going to really enjoy this. This might even be a really great one to get signed in black, maybe even silver, because it's such a red book. So you guys might want, gold. Gold's a good one too. I think there's a lot of different colors that'll work with this if you get this signed and if you want to get it slabbed. And the last one is by Francesco Mattina, and this is Superman with just raging in. I guess he's an evil Superman. I don't know, but it's a pretty dope cover, and I really like it too. And I know you guys will enjoy it, but there's a lot of other covers that come with this, and a lot of store variants. And like we always tell you guys, if you want to do it right, pick what you like, collect what you like, because if you end up just buying all of these covers, you might go broke. But just get the ones you like, right? And last but not least is this Black Dark Knight Death Metal. And this is great for negative sketches. And I know JR would have a million different ideas on how to do this one with different colors.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do with this. I personally think I'm going to go with the Jung Hai Lee, and I'm going to go with Dark Knight's Death Metal black cover for my pickups this week.
I would love to see Crane do something on there.
Oh yeah, Crane would kill this one with the Infinity signature that he does. Oh dude, it'd be sick, right?
Yeah.
But moving on, let's move on to Big Rob.
All right, let's see here. We got G.I. Joe. What issue is this? 272, Real American Hero, and it's the Snake Hunt Part 7. I've definitely been enjoying this run of G.I. Joe Real American Hero. So basically, the reason it's called Snake Hunt because Cobra is pretty much after Snake Eyes, and they're trying to capture him throughout at least the first 6 issues. And if you read it, see how successful they are. There is this issue 7, and so I'm not sure, something big supposed to happen, possibly this issue or the next one, but I'm not sure what's gonna. I don't know if somebody might go away or what, but it's been a really interesting story. The art's really awesome inside. If you go to the next book, the variants are always fire for this particular book. I always just love the 1 in 10 variants for G.I. Joe, and they're not easy to find in most local shops because most local shops are not ordering 1 in 10s. You're lucky if they order 5, really. So it's definitely a low print run 1 in 10. So these books always tend to go more in the secondary market. I actually did buy this one on Midtown. That's where I got mine. But and I can't remember I don't know if somebody wants to look up real quick, but I believe the same artist does all the 1 in 10 covers for this particular run of G.I. Joe Snake Hunt. But it's a good story. It's actually a little bit of comedy, and it's kind of funny at moments. The art inside is cool, and definitely interested to see how they're going to wrap up this particular arc. And I highly recommend, definitely if you're an 80s kid or a G.I. Joe fan or just a comic book fan in general, I recommend definitely G.I. Joe over a Real American Hero. All right, let's move on to the next.
All right, Nick.
Yeah, so getting into, I like to come with a back issue pick. Something, typically I've done things that are undervalued, and this book isn't necessarily undervalued. I think it's a little underappreciated. So if you look at Go Collect and you look at the census numbers for Amazing Fantasy 15, there are only 140 in the Blue Label CGC 9.8. Right now, on 9.8 of Amazing Fantasy 15 First Amadeus Cho, it's going to cost you anywhere around $300, maybe some on the high side if you get unlucky, around $400. The book is rarer than Ultimate Fallout 4. It's rarer than Edge of Spider-Verse 2. At 140 9.8s and a CGC 9.8 rating of 31.4%. Compare that to, Edge of Spider-Verse with a 9.8 rating of 58.9% and 2,400 on the census. And that book is going for $600 right now. Amadeus Cho is a character that they've already teased in the Marvel Universe. It's a character I could see showing up, playing a bevy of different roles. It's a book that, as a raw book, not just in the 9.8, according to comicbookrealm.com, has an estimated print run of 14,000. Compare that to Ultimate Fallout 4, which has a print run of 73,000. So this is a tougher book to find, and it's even tougher at the 9.8. It's sitting at $300 when these other books are going up, based on pretty much the same spec. So I think this is a book that's a little underappreciated. If you can find one for $300 and you have the cash, it's a solid investment.
But now, where do you see him showing up in? Because I see him like on the TV show, the She-Hulk show. But
I think that is a great idea.
I don't see him replacing Mark Ruffalo.
I think, and we kind of talked about this pre-show. I think, you're right. He might not replace Mark Ruffalo, but he could come and play the role of science nerd, and get casted and be a named actor. I have my copy right here, and it says right here he was Mastermind Alexio. So he could come and play a bevy of different characters. He's a character who has name recognition that, Marvel Studios knows, hey, if we put Amadeus Cho in a TV show, it's going to get the comic book nerds' attention. So he's a character people have long spec'd on. It's a book that's kind of forgotten during all this COVID, market saturation and this stimulus market. But, the numbers are there with this book. This is a rare book. This is a book that, if you don't have it in your collection at a high grade, you're going to be missing out, because once it does pop, it's going to pop pretty big, because there's not going to be a lot trading of it. Yeah, and that's basically what I got, man. Pick up Amazing Fantasy 15. I think you can get it raw for less than $100. Find the 9.8, send it to me, I'll press it.
Go back to the TV show. I could see them doing like a Gamma Force. Also,
yeah, I mean they gave him a character. Braun now, right?
I believe that's what he is now. It also depends if the rumors are true that Marvel's got the rights to the Hulk back. Because as of last I heard, Marvel's not allowed to do a Hulk movie. But if they've got the rights back, then we're probably going to get a Hulk Wolverine movie.
Hulk was owned by Paramount, I believe.
And then Cho isn't a
Universal.
quote-unquote
Universal.
character.
Universal.
I mean, he came on before, right? I mean, he was, he wasn't like a Hulk-centric character. So he was introduced.
Cho?
I mean, yeah, he wasn't not a Hulk-centric character.
Right. Well, I mean, he's never really been centric to any one universe, really. I mean, they tried to bring him in that whole Marvel Now thing a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's why I feel like he doesn't specifically need to get tied to the Hulk. I mean, he can just kind of exist independently and, without having just, again, if the rights don't revert back to Marvel, I mean, he can still do his own thing. I mean, he can be in those other movies or other shows doing something else, because I mean, I think he mentions he's the 4th smartest person in the Marvel universe or something like that, and he keeps saying stuff like that. So I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I can.
There's always a role
kinda
for that
see it.
character.
No,
Like,
there
they-
is. It's just where they put him.
Right, I could see him playing, like, if you saw the Flash, you know, playing the role that you know, the smart guys on the Flash play. There's always the brainy dude, you know. And speaking of like brawn, right? Like Champions 22, you can buy a CGC 9.8 at Champions 22 for $85 right now. So that'd be another good book.
So
But
that's
if you-
another thing too, right? I mean, if the MCU decides to go younger and more youthful, I mean, you got Kamala Khan that's going to be coming up. I mean, you got Viv Vision that's going to be coming up as well on WandaVision. I mean, you can all get them on to the same team, and same thing with Sam Alexander Nova and Miles Morales, all come into Champions.
Well, you heard the other
the
rumor.
biggest show, and there you go.
You heard the other rumor of the person showing up in WandaVision is, right? That supposedly the guy that played Quicksilver has signed on
Oh,
to do
God,
something
love
there.
it. His version
So
of
he-
Quicksilver was awesome.
But think about this. What if he comes on as one of the twins, Wanda's twins, and she aged him? So he's an older version. Like, that's why he's an adult. So it's not necessarily he's coming as Quicksilver, but he's coming on as the young Avenger, the twin of, that's supposed to be the sons of Vision and Wanda.
You're thinking Speed? He'd be Speed?
Yeah, he'd be Speed.
That would be like a mind mess for the audience, though, wouldn't it?
But I think WandaVision's going to be a mind mess.
Young Avengers then.
But I think they're ramping up to Young Avengers is what I'm getting at.
I'll save that
could
pick
be.
for another day, but that's another solid back pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to buy that
Kate
book.
Bishop.
Yes. I've been looking for that one for a good price too, man. That's something that everybody kind of forgot about, you know.
I was at a show one time and I saw a guy I was at a show with. We were dollar bin hunting together, and he's in a box and I'm in a box, and we're right there on our knees, right next to each other. He pulls out a Young Avengers #1.
Good
he's
thing
just
you
like-
said that.
He's like, "This is mine," you know. And I was just like, "If I grab the right box."
That's what she said.
I heard about that show and I heard about that day, and
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
I saw someone just post on Instagram, not Instagram, but on Facebook today. They pulled a Fallout 4 #1 print for $1 out of a dollar bin.
No way.
That's
There are
what they're
things
claiming.
out there.
They're claiming they found one in the dollar bin.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bunch of those second prints, both variants, in dollar bins and back bins out there.
Well, this is the one where you don't see his face.
Oh,
At least
yeah.
the one I saw was the first print.
I want to see the receipt. Show me the receipt, and I'll believe you. I'll believe you who's
Yeah,
out
no
there in
kidding.
Instagram land. Show us the receipt. Hey, but I want to thank you guys for joining us again here on the Team Nerd Herd Top Pick Show of the Week. We really appreciate you coming through, and thank you for all the new subscribers, man. We really appreciate the support. If you're a new viewer, just it's very easy. Just hit that like and subscribe button. It goes a long way for the show, and we really appreciate it. But you know, as our advice is for all new collectors and collectors alike, if you want to do it right, you got to collect what you like.
Collect what you like.
Like what you like.
Collect what you like.
Collect what you like.
Just not Spider-Man.